So this is a kind of a quick note as you're trying to retopologize the mesh. You always want to take into account areas of interest which will involve animation for animation purposes. These parts like the elbows, obviously this is just a quickly sculpted model, so you're not going to have a whole lot of detail over here. But you always want to try to retopologize to fit an animation movement so that the body can move nicely, and the sculpt or the high resolution doesn't look awkward when you're trying to pose your character. Now again, granted this isn't the best sculpted model, but it kind of gives you an idea of the brachial areas of the muscle region in the forearm, but you kind of get the concept. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple retopologize this area a little bit before I end the video on this particular area. And all I did was hit Command and Z on that for the Mac in order to get that to delete just a second ago. You could of course hover over it and hit the hold the Alt button down and click it, and it'll also delete. Just one way. No, this is actually very quick, so I don't expect that you do it your model the same exact way. It is preferential how you want to create your retopology, but we are talking about an animate object or an inanimate person with a little bit of a robotics to it. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference when you're trying to follow curvatures, just as long as you do your best to try to follow it. So I'm going to try to bring it out here because I don't need a whole lot of mesh in here. And I did hit the symmetry button, so it is taken into account the opposite side as well. And as you notice, I am going around to try to connect. It does show a nice fluid control of your the rows of your polygons or tries. So this is something to keep in consideration when you are creating your mesh. You always want to try to keep it nice and clean. Same thing with saving out your actual model itself. I'm going to actually do that really quick. I always try to save out all the time. Later on, you will notice like having too many saves can cause some problems as well. So bear that in mind. Sometimes naming exactly what is going on in the particular file is always good too. But I take that you are an intermediate user, and this is merely just a reiteration of what you already know.